Jimmy.
Now what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't make up
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I wanna turn on this. Becky quick. While the average man looking at sisters act like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5'6". I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want to stop it. I know that booty got dropped, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-Wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounces. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, roll with the marijuana. Waking up with the fun, some commas. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL, make profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. Yeah. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? Hey, make profits. Hey, Shug, Mike, what we doing? Hey, make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? Make profits.
That TTG money gang, we some snipers.
Hey yo, what's up everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. My name is Michael Edward Paranati. I go by Michael Edward. I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group. In case you guys didn't know, we were a Benzinga FinTech Awards finalist last year for Best Data Analysis Tool. We are up for Best AI Analysis Tool this year. We're coming for that prize. But we are also the fastest growing and highest rated premium online educational platform that combines university level trading and investing courses with premium stock market tools, live workshops, and individual mentorship and coaching for stocks, options, crypto, and futures. We day trade, we swing trade. We also cover long-term investing. There's literally something for everyone here at True Trading Group. Now, if you are wondering why it is you should listen to anything it is that I discuss on this YouTube channel, folks, it's because I did not figure this stuff out on my own. I began my career working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City, my first job right out of college, where they had me go through a training program before they let me touch $1 of the fund's money. Then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession, the big stock market crash, but also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now you fast forward, and I'm the co-founder and head trader of TTG, and along with my team of 8 other professional full-time trading moderators and an over 30-person staff, we've helped thousands of members from all over the world to reach their goals. So if you guys are ready to learn, trade, and profit for real, you've come to the right place. 6 nights a week, Sunday through Friday, we go live on this channel. Well, my TV's not working as I'm trying to get my earnings stuff going on. Not sure what's going on with that. Where I give you guys free lessons, drop golden nuggets, and help you guys become better traders. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, turn on your notifications, make sure you guys never miss out on any of these live streams because we're dropping golden nuggets on a regular basis, especially this week though. This week is going to be huge because of all the catalysts that we have coming up. This is a jam-packed week of earnings. 1/3 of the S&P 500 is reporting earnings this week, but you also have all of your jobs data and you have PCE inflation data. So tomorrow you're going to get job openings in the morning. Then in the afternoon, after the close, you're going to get Alphabet and AMD earnings. Then on Wednesday morning, you're going to get the ADP employment number or report. Then Wednesday after the close, you're going to get Microsoft and Meta's earnings. Then Thursday morning before the market, you're going to get jobless claims. Then Thursday afternoon after the market close, you're going to get Apple and Amazon earnings. And then Friday morning, and then Thursday in the morning, you're also going to get the PCE inflation data. And then Friday morning before market open, you're going to get the U.S. labor report. Safe to say this is going to be a wild and crazy week. Now, do not let today fool you. Today was a very slow, choppy, boring day in the overall index. The market barely moved the entire day. The SPY basically just went sideways. But individual stocks had some really nice moves, specifically in the crypto space. We had a 100% gain today on a trade alert sent out by Andrea Weber on Mara on the call option. Took those profits today. You had follow through on the swing trade idea from several weeks ago on MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy has been an unbelievable move. It's actually top 3 P&L trades for us, for me this year. My top three stocks this year, not stocks total, but individual trades. My top 3 P&L trades this year are all longs: Moderna, Coinbase, and MicroStrategy. Those are the top 3 biggest. Obviously Moderna, not recently. That stock's been getting slaughtered. But a few months ago, that stock had an absolutely meteoric rally, and we were all over that thing several months ago, and then Coinbase even before that. So it's been a really great month of October. This is the last trading week of the month, and you're going to finish it out with a bang. I didn't really do much today. I just traded a small cap today. I didn't touch really any large caps today. I'm just kind of waiting like a lion in the grass for these catalysts to come out this week. And I think that you're going to get so much opportunity and so much movement. I think the SPY is going to break out of this channel. We've been in a pretty defined channel for the last 2.5 weeks here on the SPY. And if you guys take a look at the chart here to my left, you will see, the channel that has been defined. And this is coming off of another channel that we broke out of the end of September and early October. You see this channel, and I'll just draw a little square around it. There was that first channel that we had developed, and you broke out of it and rallied to new all-time highs. And then ever since the breakout of that channel, you've now formed a new channel with support at 574 and resistance at 586. It's a very obvious, clear, clean-cut channel. And I think the best trading opportunities from an index level. So if you guys trade the SPY, if you trade the Qs, if you trade futures or SPY 0 DTEs, whatever it is, I think that the best index moves are going to come when one of these 2 levels breaks. And I think it's going to happen this week. I think that there's enough catalysts coming this week to break us out of this channel. And rather than me sit here and try to make predictions, and I talked to you guys about this on the live stream last night, that I'm not here, or I don't think that this is the week, rather, to try to predict what the labor report's going to say. I don't think this is the week to predict what Apple and Microsoft and Meta and all those companies are going to say on their earnings report, because I don't know what these companies are going to report their earnings. I don't. I really don't. And the reality is nobody else does either. It's just, you're just kind of pretty much taking a guess about what you think the company's earnings are going to be. And then more importantly than their earnings, you're taking a guess on what you think their guidance is going to be. And then you're taking a guess on what you think the CEO and the CFO were going to say on the conference call. Rather than me try to position myself and just kind of, close my eyes and cross my fingers with calls or puts going into an earnings print, I'll just wait and see what the earnings are. Let's wait and see what the earnings are, and then let's determine whether or not we think that this is bullish or bearish, depending on what the earnings are. And then once we have that sentiment, we look for levels that we can place those trades off of. And because in this market, you don't have to be the first one to the party. You really, really don't. We've proven that time and time again over the last several months. And really, it's been really, honestly, since COVID. Since COVID over the last 4 years, you do not have to be the first one to the party, because the moves that these stocks make are big enough to where you just have to catch a piece of it. I think people forget, or maybe there's just a big misconception, that in order to make a good trade, you have to like catch a stock's entire move. And if a stock goes from 50 to 80, you've got to buy it at 50 and sell it at 80. It's not true. My job is not to catch a stock's entire move. My job is to identify the direction of a stock, put myself, in a high risk reward position with good risk management or high probability situation, and just capitalize from the move, right? Just capitalize from the move. I don't have to catch the whole damn thing, but just capitalize from the move. It's kind of like my Carvana trade, which I'm still sitting in as the stock makes new 52-week highs basically almost every single day. And today, again, was no different. If you guys were on my live stream last night, I said to you literally last night, I said, let's look for Carvana to go to 208 today. That's what I said. Okay. 135% gain on MSTR reload. I'm still holding some. Huckleberry, great job. That's a monster. That's an absolute monster. Yeah, that's top 3 P&L trades for me this year. MicroStrategy is top 3. It's been an absolute monster. All right, I'll talk about MicroStrategy. I'll kind of let you guys know because our analysis on Bitcoin so far over the last month and a half has been correct. And I think there's still more to come on that Bitcoin move. We'll talk about crypto. We'll talk about Bitcoin. I do own Bitcoin. I'm long Bitcoin. And I think that we have a real possibility to rally on Bitcoin into the end of the year after the election, and maybe take Bitcoin to new all-time highs. Now, I do believe that crypto will be affected by who wins the election. So I think that if Trump wins the election, I think that would be a better catalyst for crypto. But we have to wait and see, who wins and what their policies end up being as it relates to crypto and as it relates to Bitcoin. But just over the last month or so, Trump's been pretty outspoken about, deregulation and everything like that. And he's been talking about being a fan of crypto and wanting to further and advance crypto and everything else. So that's why I think that could be, he's just been more outspoken about it. So that's why I think that would be good for Bitcoin specifically. And the chart of Bitcoin looks amazing. It looks fantastic. Okay. And if you guys have been on this YouTube channel at all over the last couple of weeks, then you'll know that we've been pretty bullish on Bitcoin, and we'll go over all of that stuff. But first, let's talk about Carvana. And then I want to go through a segment here today with you guys called Grade My Stock, which is where I let you guys type ticker symbols. You ask me to take a look at a stock and I give it a grade. A, B, C, D, F. Okay. The grade will be a combination of my thoughts from a fundamental standpoint for a long-term investment, like a long-term portfolio position, but then also from a technical standpoint from a trade. So I'll give you my grading based on both. And A means love it, buy it now. F means I wouldn't touch it with anybody else's money, never mind my own. So that's what we'll go through, and we'll do that here today. But let's go back. Let's take a look over here at this Carvana. And Carvana, you want to talk about breaking out of a channel. Just take a look at the channel that this stock sat in here for 2 weeks, right? You guys can take a look and see that consolidation. And we entered this position on the 21st, right there. And then you got this beautiful breakout and follow through. And we've just been taking profit off basically every single day. And I'm down to a runner. Runner for me is between 10 and 15% of my original position that went long from 191. Okay, long from 191 on the 21st. And we are now trading up here at 205 with a high of the day here at 208. That's a 52-week high at 208. And we're getting pretty damn close to my final take profit. What I'm essentially doing is I'm just riding the trade line. The trade line is this teal blue line you guys see on my screen. That is the 9 exponential moving average. Now, do not go into your charting software and search for trade line. You're not going to find it. Trade line is just kind of trader slang. It's the 9 exponential moving average. Now, you could also use the 8, the 10, the 11, or the 12. It's personal preference. They will be extremely similar. Okay. If you use the 8 or the 10 or the 11, I use the 9, but they're going to be pennies apart. All right. They'll all be very, very similar. And you can just see it's been a beautiful support indicator for us. And the 9 EMA is a momentum indicator. Okay, when a stock has momentum to the upside, it acts as support. And when it has momentum to the downside, it acts as resistance. So basically what I've just been doing here is we caught the breakout, and now I'm just trying to ride the trade line for as long as I can on the runner and see if we can just get our final profit off somewhere up in this region. Okay, So again, that's a position that I'm still in. We talked about it yesterday on the live stream. If you guys were not here, if you missed it, but I feel like I probably could have took my final profit off today, but I said, the hell, why not? And I held on to it for just a little bit more and held on to it for a little bit longer. All right, that's Carvana. All right, let's move on back now over to crypto, and let's kind of talk about that MicroStrategy. So we caught the two legs of this move, right? So I missed the third leg. This is the third leg. Okay, that's the leg that I did not make money on. The legs we did make money on is we caught this leg, and then we caught this leg. Okay, so we made money here, reloaded, made money here, not in the position anymore, and then I missed this last leg. So we caught it twice. I missed the third one. If we caught the third one, this would have by far been the largest P&L trade for me this year if I caught this third leg here. But I still think that there's more upside there. I think that it's possible that you can see MicroStrategy get all the way up to 300. The all-time high on this, I mean, you still have a ways to go for the all-time high. The all-time high was put in place in 2000 during the dot-com bubble. People forget that MicroStrategy is a software company. That all-time high is all the way up there in the 330s. Okay, so that all-time high would put you guys all the way up at. Why can't I grab this? I can't grab it. Well, anyway, your all-time high is going to be all the way back up there in the year 2000, right? Which is just absolutely insane. Absolutely crazy. And now the stocks come to life, and it's all obviously now it's a crypto name because of how much Bitcoin is on their balance sheet. And now that you've taken out this previous resistance top, and then it took it out, pulled in, became support. Now you're getting the extension. I think that pullbacks in MicroStrategy are absolutely viable. I think that your next support level now that you would look for on pullbacks is going to be the mid 220s, which will be back against this previous pivot top. And you want to talk about the trade line, the 9 EMA on the daily chart that I told you guys about, that when the stock has momentum, that it often acts as a level of support. Look at the teal blue line on MicroStrategy over the course of the last 2 months. Support, 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 right? Support all along the way. So we're going to look for mid 220s, like 225 on any type of a pullback for that to be support. And as long as you get continued upside in Bitcoin, I do think that MicroStrategy could continue this rally. And I still think it's not time, but I still think it's okay for you guys to be buying pullbacks and buy dips, which is what has been working over the last 2 months. I still think that is the case. Do I think that MicroStrategy earnings will impact the stock? Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. I think earnings are going to impact the stock. Because again, they still do have a software business that needs to be addressed. You can't just, they're not an ETF. They're not a Bitcoin ETF. They're not a Bitcoin mutual fund or, which it's started to trade like. So I started to trade like that just because they own so much of it. The value of the company and therefore the value of the stock is so incredibly impacted by the movement in the price of Bitcoin that it now kind of moves with it. But there still is a software business there. And we're going to have to wait and see what they have to say about their software business. But if there's promise on the software side, and if there's a guidance raise on the software side, and Bitcoin breaks a new all-time high, hard to imagine MicroStrategy does not continue higher as we look at this stock. Fast forward a couple of weeks from now, I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing up near 300. Going into the election, I think the election could be a catalyst for Bitcoin. And let's go over and let's talk about that. Let's talk about Bitcoin and let's talk about the chart. So forget about the politics of it, right? Forget about the politics of it. Forget about who wins the election. Forget about, whose policies are better for crypto or any of that stuff. Let's just take a look at the chart and let's figure out what's the chart telling us and what's the chart saying. Because the analysis that we had on Bitcoin going back to the month of September was the downward channel that Bitcoin's been in for the last several months is about to break and reverse. And then the downward channel we thought was about to turn into an upward sloping channel. Now, you guys don't have to take my word for it. If you're new to the live stream or you're new to the channel, then you obviously have not been listening to me talk about Bitcoin for the last 2 months. So you would have missed this analysis. But all of these videos and all my analysis is right here on this YouTube channel. You can go back and you can check it out if you guys do want. Okay, but what we've been sitting in here on Bitcoin has been a downward sloping channel ever since the all-time high, okay, was put in March. All right, so we can maybe go to the full screen. Yep. So there's this downward sloping channel. And then what is a downward sloping channel? All it is a series of lower highs and lower lows. And you can see every pullback on Bitcoin went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And every rally was more shallow, more shallow, more shallow, more shallow, more shallow, right? That creates a downward sloping channel. Okay. What the analysis was here was the August 5th gap down, when you had the Japanese yen carry trade, right? That little blow up, the big gap down in the overall market, the huge sell off there in crypto. It took you back to 58K. Okay. I mean, it took you back to 50K right there, right? Now, why was 50K significant? Because 50K was a little resistance point that after we broke it in February, triggered the rally to the new all-time high. After you got the rally to the new all-time high, that's when you then established the downward sloping channel. You gapped underneath that downward sloping channel and tested that previous resistance level. It then became support, and then you rallied back up to the top end of the channel. And then when you pulled back to the downside, you will notice for the first time, a higher low was made. So that began the shift in tone. That began for me the shift in sentiment on Bitcoin. Then off that higher low, we rallied back to make a higher high. See that? So now you have your first higher high and you have your first higher low. And that is why we said that we believed that you would get this new upward sloping channel. And my friends, so far, that is exactly what you are seeing happen. Because after you got the first higher low, you then got a second higher low. And after you got the first higher high, you've gotten a second higher high, right? So what we've done with Bitcoin here now was break out of this downward sloping channel in the middle of October. Then you pulled back into the downward sloping channel, and then it became support. And now the upward sloping channel is now intact and it's in play. And then you just have, oops, I didn't mean to do that. And then you just have this resistance here at the all-time high. And that's it. What I think you're going to see here in Bitcoin is I think Bitcoin is going to push into the low 70s. Then I think you're going to pull back and you're going to consolidate in here. And then we'll wait and see what happens with the election. And maybe the election is a catalyst to take you to a new all-time high. And if that is the case, and if that is the way that this pans itself out, and this has been the analysis since the middle of September. So when we first started talking about being bullish on Bitcoin, we started talking about the MicroStrategy trade. As a matter of fact, we entered the MicroStrategy trade long for the first time on September 23rd. September 23rd was when we went ahead and we got long, okay? And we got long MicroStrategy. It was right there at $147 that was our first entry there long on MicroStrategy, was September 23rd. And the reason for that entry point, like I said, was that analysis on Bitcoin, right? It was the analysis on Bitcoin. It was after, so that's the 23rd, right? So after the 23rd, that's when we realized, hey, we put in the higher low and now you're making the higher high. That's the indication of a new upward sloping channel. And that's a shift in sentiment on Bitcoin. And then you can get now a push back towards all-time highs. Okay. And that's why we went after the MicroStrategy trade when we did. Okay. All right. That's what we were looking at. And that's still my analysis. My analysis has not changed. If anything, it's working out exactly the way that we kind of drew it up here. So you got to feel pretty good about what we're seeing here with Bitcoin and the potential of a new all-time high. But again, I do think that the election will matter. So I think that we need to hear a little bit more about what is the game plan here, what's the policy on crypto for the two candidates. And as we get more clarity on that, and then we see who wins the election, I expect a ton of volatility around election night. Okay, I think Bitcoin is going to go nuts during election night. I think you're going to see, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 swings, in Bitcoin on election night, as it looks like, Trump is winning, Harris is winning, Trump is winning, Harris is winning. And I think you're going to get these wild swings in Bitcoin. And let's not forget, in those late hours, as a lot of those, votes keep coming in, and you got the mail-in ballots that will start coming in and get counted in those late sessions, Bitcoin's still trading. So I think Bitcoin is going to be moving around like crazy. So if you're someone that can't sleep on election night, I think you're going to have a ton of opportunity to trade Bitcoin. And I think you're going to have a ton of opportunity to trade the futures market as well. The futures market's going to go nuts. I think the crypto market's going to go nuts. And then post-election, we can really see what does the winner, whoever the next president's going to be, what do they have to say about crypto? Do they even talk about crypto? Or was it just something that they spoke about on the campaign trail? And then once elected, they just, who cares? They just totally forget about it and there's nothing done with it, right? We'll have to see. Okay, we'll have to see what it's going to be. We'll have to see who's going to win and what their policies are. But I think it could be a catalyst that we need to maybe take Bitcoin to an all-time high. So those are my thoughts, right? And we've been spot on so far. Again, full disclosure, I am long Bitcoin itself. I'm no longer in the MicroStrategy trade, but I am long Bitcoin. I'm not adding to it or anything. I'm just holding what I have because I think that we're going to make a new all-time high. All right. So that's it. That's the case there. Right. And this is the type of analysis that you guys can get there, right? As a member of True Trading. This is the type of analysis that you get. Very straightforward, very clear, very concise, tell you exactly what it is that we're thinking. It's not just me. There's 8 other professional traders that are with you during the day. We all share our screen. We're live on the mic. We're answering questions. We're calling out trades, sending out our notifications in real time when the moderators enter an exit position so that you can follow along with what we're doing. Even if you're not in front of your computer, download the mobile app and you guys get push notifications when those trades come through and when our orders execute. So you can be sitting at your desk at work and you can just get a notification up. They just bought call options on Tesla. You can log into your account, buy some calls, set a stop loss, put your phone down, and then get notified when we take profit. Okay. And then you can say to yourself, here's my, I just got a notification. You can just say, I just got a notification that they just took profit. You can log into your phone, take profit, adjust your stop loss, and then put your phone back down. Right. So that's how so many of our members are able to do this with a full-time job. We actually have over 10,000 members. 82% have a full-time job. 82%. That's over 8,000 people that have a full-time job. The rest of them are full-time traders or are retired, right? But over 80% of our members have a full-time job. So that mobile app is very important. It's crucial for a lot of those members to be able to follow along with what we're doing. And you're going to want to follow along with what we're doing because the moderators and I collectively as a group have been able to maintain a cumulative win rate on all of our executions of just around 80%, now going on roughly the last 5 years. We track every single transaction that we make. So every buy, every take profit, every green, red, break even, every single execution is tracked for you. We upload the activity from our brokerage accounts directly to the TT website so that you can see every single transaction that's made. So you guys can see how you would be performing if you were following along with some of those trade alerts. Okay. And that's what has allowed so many of our members to reach their milestones, so many of our members to make money with True Trading Group. And I'm not just telling you that members are making money. You should just believe me because I just said that because I have a cool painting that's hanging behind me. You should believe me because it's what members actually tell you themselves, right? Whenever somebody asks me as someone that's a potential member says, oh, well, how do I know our members actually making money? Don't ask me that question, right? Because what am I going to tell you? Nope, all of our members are losing money. Of course, I'm not going to tell you that, right? you should listen to members themselves. And that's why whenever someone asks questions like that, I like to ask members to answer. Members, let's see. If you are on this live stream and you are a member of TTG, if you're making money, if you're becoming a better trader, do me a favor, type the number 1 in chat right now. Again, guys, go ahead and type the number 1. If you're making money, you're becoming a better trader, go ahead, type the number 1 in chat right now. Anyone that's on this live stream that's not a member yet of TTG, you should pay very close attention to how many people you're about to see. Type the number 1 because those are your friends, those are your family members, those are your coworkers, and if they can do this, folks, then so can you. So there you guys have it. There's all those number 1s. Look at all those number 1s. There it is. This is what I'm saying. Don't listen to me, right? Don't listen to me just because I tell you members are making money. I think it's always going to be best for you to, I think it's always best for you guys to listen to what members have to say. Okay. Always best for you to listen to what members have to say. And there you have it, right? Now, I'm also now curious to see, real quick, anyone that's on this live stream that is not a member of True Trading Group. Do me a favor, type the letters TTG if you are not a member of True Trading Group. Okay. Again, go ahead and type the letters TTG if you are not a member of True Trading Group. I want to see just who we have here that's on the live stream, so I kind of know who it is that I'm talking to here. So just go ahead and type the letters TTG. For those of you that are not members. Terrence, what's up, brother? All right, excellent. Well, listen, those of you that are not members of True Trading Group, I told you guys actually last night that we actually are not going to be running a Halloween or a Black Friday or a Christmas sale. The way that we're doing this at True Trading Group is we're going to reward people that act first. So we've actually brought the price of our membership down to just $597 for the entire year. And then we're going to be walking the price of that membership up each day. We had 50 spots available at the $597 price point that we started on Friday. I gave away a bunch of them last night, but we actually still had 10 left. So what I'm going to do is, before we get into all of these earnings and all these catalysts that we have coming up here this week, and then obviously the election, I'll give a shot for anyone that wants to join for the $597. There's only 10 of those spots left, and the price jumps to over $600. I was going to raise it at midnight last night, but I figured it's only 10 spots. So I'll leave those 10 spots for tonight. And then after these 10 spots are gone, or midnight tonight, whichever one happens first, the price will then go up. And then what's going to happen is the price of our membership will go up a few bucks every single day until we get to January 1st. Once we get to January 1st, the price will just be a fixed cost. We'll still have sales for holidays and stuff like that, but it'll be coming off of a much higher price point. But I'll give you guys a chance right now for $597 for the entire year. Go to ttgoffer.com. Everything on that page is included. There is no additional cost. There's no upsell for anything that you guys see on that page. You go to ttgoffer.com. All those items are included for $597. And I know I talk a big game on these streams, but I back it up, and to prove to you how much we believe in the platform that we've created and its ability to help you reach your goals, we offer a double your money back guarantee. It's very simple. This is how it works. You join today, you pay $597. I ask you to do the following. Go through our courses, pass our quizzes, and attend one study group. Actually use the platform you're subscribing to. If you do those things and you're still unable to make enough winning trades to equal the $597 membership fee at least once, we'll give you guys a refund of not just the $597. We'll give you back $1,194. That's going to be double what you're paying to join us. That is our double your money back guarantee based on your P&L. If you can't make the $597 back at least once, we'll give you back $1,194. We got to welcome Abdi. Abdi, welcome to the TTG family. Abdi, guys, that means we're down to 9 spots. Okay, so there's 9 of these spots left for the $597. You got the double your money back guarantee. I don't think you need it, but it's there for peace of mind. Okay, that's Abdi. 9 spots now remain. Everything on the page is included. All of our courses, simplified and expanded upon version of the training I received working at a fund in New York, Benzinga Pro's real-time news feed, congressional trading data, trading views, charting software, the trade idea scanner streams on our platform for you guys to use, unusual options activity, options flow, dark pool data, short data, 1,000 hours of videos in our video library covering different workshops and topics that the moderators and I have hosted in the past. All of these things are included for $597 for the whole year. And that double your money back guarantee, guys, you don't have to worry about the stress of like, I've got to do this right now. I have to do this within 30 days or 14 days or some unrealistic time frame. I give you that double your money back guarantee for the whole year. So take your time, right? Go at your own pace. There's no rush. If you guys want to do this, let's do it right. Let's make sure that you're educated. Let's make sure you know what you're doing. Let's make sure you know how to best use the TTG platform and the resources that are available. Let's make sure that you know how to properly follow a moderator's trade alert so you understand what they're doing, when they're taking profit, how much of their position they're still holding, what their stop losses are, how much they're risking on that trade. Let's make sure you truly know how to do this and make sure you take the time necessary to feel comfortable with what you're doing. I don't want you guys to rush because, I got to do this before the money back guarantee expires. No, you have the whole year. And if you can't make the $597 back at least once during that year, I'll give you back $1,194. The refund rate at TTG is less than 2%. That's why I have no problem offering double your money back. If our refund rate was 12%, I wouldn't give you double your money back. We'd go out of business. And True Trading Group is a business. We have over 30 employees with customers in 117 different countries, over 10,000 members. We're doing something right, okay? Our retention rate is well into the 70s. That means over 70% of our members renew their annual membership when it comes due, or they have upgraded their membership to become a lifetime member of the community. Over 70%. That's why I have no problem offering you guys double your money back. I don't think you need it, again, but it's there for peace of mind. If anybody has any questions, do not hesitate. Text us. We're fully transparent. We're an open book. 1-888-621-2127. Again, that is 1-888-621-2127. Phone number is right down there at the bottom of your screen. Text that number with any questions or concerns that you guys have. Also, if you are currently a trial, if you used to be a trial, or if you used to be an annual member and you want to come back home, you actually have to text that number so we can whitelist your email address and give you guys the discounted $597 price point. Otherwise, you're going to be paying a much higher price. All right. Otherwise, you guys can go straight to ttgoffer.com. Okay. ttgoffer.com. All right. There are 9 spots left. Again, remember, 9 spots remaining. They're first come, first serve, either 9 spots or midnight tonight, and the price will go up to over $600. All right. All right, folks, that takes us to the segment of Grade My Stock. Yes, your favorite segment. The phrase Grade My Stock. How this segment works is you guys type a bunch of ticker symbols in chat. I pull it up on the screen and I give you a grade, or I give the stock a grade, A, B, C, D, F, and I will give you that grade based on the technical setup on the chart, the fundamentals of a long-term investment, and my opinion on the stock. Again, all of these grades are my personal opinion. Doesn't necessarily mean that it is right, but it is what I would be doing with my own money. You guys can take that information for whatever it's worth. All right. And with that being said, let's get into Grade My Stock. Go ahead, folks. Start typing tickers in chat. The first one that pops up on my screen that I see, I'm going to close my eyes. When I open my eyes, the first ticker symbol that I see is the one that we are going to go through. So guys, go ahead and start typing tickers in chat right now. AI. First one that I saw is AI. Okay. Grading here for AI is going to be, I do not own AI in the long-term portfolio. Okay. I do not own AI. I have no intention of owning AI in the long-term portfolio. What I will say to you is this. You are looking at the new age of artificial intelligence, right? And investor sentiment around artificial intelligence, right? Now, would you all agree that over the last year and a half is really the boom of AI, right? Over the last year and a half is the boom of AI. This is an AI company. Obviously, their ticker symbol is AI. Very cute. This stock has sucked. You are in a severe downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. You are forming a descending wedge. Okay. This is a descending wedge. All right. Now, what I will say to you is this. I'm going to give for this ticker, I'm going to give a C plus to a B minus. And the reason for that is because I think there could be a technical trade here, but I'm just not a big fan of the long-term outlook of the company at this time. I think they're too small. I think they're too new. I think they're too young. And I'm just not impressed with what the company has been able to do as of today. That doesn't mean that that could change later on. Palantir is a perfect example of that. When Palantir first came public, I didn't think that the stock was worth what it was. I stayed away from the IPO. The stock was cratered. The stock got crushed. And then just over the last year, just recently, I've liked what I've seen from Palantir. The company has focused a lot more on their private side business, not just government contracts, but growing their private client base. I love what they've been doing. I've loved their earnings. I love what the CEO has been saying. And I've become very bullish on Palantir to the point where I personally took a position in Palantir long in my long-term portfolio. We are up well over triple digits on that position in the long-term portfolio already on Palantir. And I have no intention of selling it. I'm going to be a shareholder of Palantir probably for the next decade, and I'm going to continue to add and build on that position because I've now turned bullish on Palantir throughout this year. That could happen with AI down the road, but the company needs to prove itself to me before I make that stance. So that's why I'm going to give it a C plus, maybe a B minus, because this descending wedge could have some oomph to it if you break out of it. I would watch for a $28 break. A break above $28 would take you up and out of this descending wedge, and that could be a catalyst to then give you a momentum move that can take you into the low 30s. I would say a breakout of 28 could ignite maybe a swing trade opportunity. If the market is moving higher, if tech stocks are moving higher, you could see AI continue to push itself up into the low 30s. But once you get into those low 30s, or mid 30s, I would be taking profit. I wouldn't be sitting and holding on to that position for too long. We have to welcome Sung. Welcome back. Sung used to be an annual member, is now a member of True Trading Group once again. So everybody welcome Sung, newest member of the group. And that is a welcome back. Welcome home, Sung. Again, if you are someone that used to be a member, or maybe you used to be a trial member, you guys want to come back, you have to text the number that's at the bottom of your screen. That's 1-888-621-2127. Text that number. We'll help you guys out. We'll answer any questions that you have. But if you are a previous member, you have to text that number in order for us to whitelist your email to give you the $597 price point. Otherwise, go right to ttgoffer.com. Okay? Go right to ttgoffer.com. And take advantage of the $597 price point while there's only 8 of those spots remaining. Next up, I see someone snuck 2 ticker symbols in there. They said GameStop and CrowdStrike. GameStop for me is going to be a D. There's honestly nothing this company could do that would make me buy the stock in my long-term portfolio. But I'm not going to give it an F because from a technical standpoint, there's a lot of support at the 200-day moving average. And we know that if the stock gets momentum, it could give you a little bit of a trade. You have resistance up around 25. If you can take out 25, you have resistance at 30. I know the stock had a nice big day today. I'm not convinced that this is going to turn into something more. I've never really been bullish on GameStop from a long-term portfolio perspective. Yes, I was bullish on GameStop in 2021. Yes, I was long GameStop during the short squeeze. Yes, I capitalized and made money long, but yes, I also shorted the crap out of GameStop in 2022. And I would not touch this thing in the long-term portfolio. I don't think it deserves a spot in anyone's long-term portfolio. And more likely than not, if it is in your long-term portfolio at this day, you're probably down on that position. I don't think it belongs in the long-term portfolio, but it could give you a trade opportunity if it takes out $25. That's GameStop. CrowdStrike, we're going to give that one an A. I like CrowdStrike. I own it in my long-term portfolio. The stock got beaten up when they had that issue with the outage that caused all those problems back in July, and the stock really got sold into. The stock has since recovered very nicely. It hasn't recovered all of it, but the stock's recovered nicely. I like CrowdStrike. I personally own it in the long-term portfolio. I'm going to own it for a while. I'm very bullish on cybersecurity, and the three companies that I am the most bullish on when it comes to cybersecurity, there's three stocks. I own all three. It is CrowdStrike, Palo Alto, and Fortinet. Okay, so again, CrowdStrike, Palo Alto, and Fortinet. These are the three cybersecurity names that I own personally. Okay, so I do like CrowdStrike. I don't know if there's necessarily a trade here. The chart is kind of sloppy. You know, you could be forming a little bit of a flag here, but you got a lot of resistance right here at this gap entry. You tried to break into it there in October and failed. Maybe we wait for earnings to see if the stock can really start to recover. Any sell-off that takes you back into the mid 200s, I think is a great spot to add in the long-term portfolio. Snow for the long term. You know, I own Snow literally from right here. The stock is 117.5. I own it from 116.84 in my long-term portfolio. I'm going to give this stock a C. I'm going to give it a C. I bought Snowflake back in 2022 right here. And I was very pleased with this when I was up 100% in early 2024. Then the CEO left. He stepped down, and I really was disappointed when that happened. I really did like that's the CEO. The company just has not been able to benefit at all from the recent AI spending surge. And that's okay, because I think that Snowflake will eventually have its time in the sun. It's just not right now. I think over the next 2 to 3 years could be a real growth opportunity for the company. And the reason for that is because I think you're going to see a shift in spending in the AI industry, where AI spending right now in the early stages of the industry boom is all hardware based. Eventually, once the hardware is established and the infrastructure is set up, you're going to need all these companies that are focusing, all these hyperscalers are going to need software to then fill all of these AI operations. You think of it, you look at it like this. The AI boom that's been hardware driven has been semiconductors, right? Taiwan Semi, Broadcom, NVDA, right? These are the companies that have been exploding. All these companies that deal with chips, right? NVIDIA and Taiwan Semi. Taiwan Semi makes like 90% of all the high-end chips that are out there. These are huge companies that are very important to the ecosystem that is AI, right? They are the shovels of the gold rush. So they've gone crazy. And that's where all of the spend has been up until this time. I want you to think of the AI spend like building a house. in order for you to build a house, the first thing you need to do is put in a foundation and put up the wood framing, right? Think of that as the hardware. Those are the first things you need to buy. Once you have the foundation, once you have the wood framing, once you sheetrock everything and you have the frame of the house, the inside is still empty, okay? So think of the framing of the house and the foundation as the semiconductors. Once the house is built, you need to furnish it. You need to put art on the wall. You got to put tile down. You got to put some granite countertops in the kitchen, right? That's software, okay? The furnishing of the house is the software, but you're not going to spend money on furnishing the house until the house is built. And that's why a lot of these software companies have not benefited from this AI boom, and the stocks have gotten punished for it, but not because they're bad companies or bad businesses. It's just that investors right now want AI. They want profit from AI, and they want to see AI. And if you're not benefiting from AI, then you're getting tossed out. But they're still good businesses. So I own Snowflake. It's not a large position. I've only bought the stock one time. Now, the way that I build my long-term portfolio is I buy a stock and then I continuously add to that stock if I really like it. I'll add to it every year. I don't care if it's up, down, like NVIDIA. I bought NVIDIA in 2018. I bought more NVIDIA in 2020. I bought more NVIDIA in 21. I bought more NVIDIA in 22. I bought more NVIDIA in 23. And I bought more NVIDIA in 24. And I will continue to buy more NVIDIA, right? Just like I bought Apple and Microsoft and Meta and Amazon and Alphabet every single year for the last decade, right? That's my new thing with Palantir. Palantir, I bought it this year for the first time, and I will continue to buy Palantir every single year, most likely for the next decade, because I'm very bullish on that company's future in the long term. That's how I build my positions over time. So I have not added to Snowflake. There's been no reason to. The stock's been crushed, right? It's not going to run away from you. If the markets were to experience a significant pullback, I expect this stock to make a new all-time low. So I'm going to give it a C because it doesn't look great right now, but I do like the long-term prospects of the company. Let's see what happens with their next earnings report under the new CEO and see if they're able to, give a little bit more insight into what they expect next year as it relates to AI spending. Because this is what you have to listen to. The second that the CEO talks about expecting increased revenue from AI spending, that's going to be the quarter that investor sentiment shifts for the company. You haven't heard that yet. They've actually been pretty conservative, saying, we actually don't think it's going to be a good quarter. We expect a slowdown in growth. That's the stuff you've been hearing over the last couple earnings calls. The second that you hear the CEO get excited about next year or the next quarter and the trend that they're seeing in AI spend, that's going to be the moment that investor sentiment shifts. And that's when I think you'll start to see a nice upward trend in Snowflake that could last several months when the time comes. But right now is a little bit too early. Oxy, not a big fan. I'm going to give this one. Okay, I shouldn't say not a big fan. That was the wrong thing for me to say. I own Oxy. Okay. I own Occidental from $12 and change. Okay. And the reason why I said I'm not a big fan is because it broke a massive level of resistance, rejected it, and failed. Right. So you guys can see this line that's on my screen. We had major support at 55. You broke it in September. You rallied back in October and failed. And now you're back down to 50. Right. So honestly, there's no rush to buy the stock until it gets back over that $55 level. If you want my honest opinion, you could have support. I could easily see the stock drift lower into the 40s. And then I would say if it gets into the 40s, then I think you can start looking at possibly scooping up some shares. You grab a little dividend. It's not a huge dividend like some of the other names, but there is a dividend there. It's a big holding of Warren Buffett, but oil has been moving to the downside, broke under $70 a barrel. I don't necessarily think there's a really good trade set up there, But from a long-term portfolio perspective, I would say, in the 40s, I like that buy better. Or you can just wait until it reclaims that previous support level, and then you can look to maybe get involved in the stock at that time. EVGO. Oh boy. I do not like, I'm going to give this a D. I don't like any charging station company at all. I don't like any of them. I don't like EVGO. I don't like ChargePoint. I don't like Blink Energy. I don't like EVGO. Because I think that Tesla is going to completely own and dominate the charging station, electric vehicle charging station market. I know the stock has rallied recently, but I think that this rally should be taken advantage of people that are bag holding from 2021 when everybody was excited about the stock. I think you should take advantage of this pop, and I think you should get out of the position. I take a look at this and I see you have, what could be the formation of an ascending wedge. And ascending wedges are actually trend reversal patterns. If you break underneath the wedge, then you usually look for the stock to then, sell it back to the downside. And I think that is probably more likely going to be the case than EVGO blossoms into, a huge success story and the stock goes back to $20. Again, I could be totally wrong, but I personally want nothing to do with any electric vehicle charging station company. I think it's too soon. I know there's nowhere near enough charging stations in the world, but I think the adoption of electric vehicles is going to take a hell of a lot longer than people initially thought. And when that does actually eventually happen, I think Tesla's going to dominate and own the market. And I don't necessarily think you're going to need a ChargePoint. I don't think you're going to need a Blink Energy. I don't think you're going to need an EVGO. I just don't think that these companies are have a promising future. I personally just don't. OKLO. I'll give this one a B. I love the nuclear energy play. Now, we have been bullish on nuclear energy for the last couple of years. We've been playing the nuclear energy craze in the long-term portfolio through 3 holdings. The 3 holdings I have in my long-term portfolio are CCJ, URA, and BWXT. Okay, these are 3 nuclear, uranium, etc. companies that I own in the long-term portfolio. Now, these are not necessarily pure energy play stocks like CEG. CEG is a company that signed a deal with Microsoft. They're going to restart a nuclear power plant, and Microsoft is going to be purchasing electricity from that company for the next 20 years. Okay. So there's a lot of different ways you can play this. The only thing that I'm a little concerned with is that these stocks have had massive rallies as of late, and I think they're getting expensive. And I don't think that if you don't own any of these stocks at this time, I feel like you're chasing them. We've traded OKLO and SMR over the course of the last couple of weeks. We actually traded SMR on this day right here. We caught this big breakout on SMR. And now even today, I didn't trade SMR today, but today a breakout to new all-time highs for SMR. But I just feel like these stocks are getting a bit extended and they're getting a bit expensive. But I do like the future prospects of nuclear energy as it relates to AI, and nuclear energy as it relates to just as a renewable energy or as a clean energy source. So I'm going to give you a B on OKLO, a B on SMR, not an A because I think the stocks are extended. An A means like, hey, I'd buy that thing right now. I wouldn't buy these things right now. I think they're a little bit extended, but I do think you can start to look to buy them on pullbacks. Yes, Mari did alert it today. So our AI our AI alerted OKLO today for a trade. A lot of our members were able to make money on this thing today because of our AI. So just so you guys understand, I know that's like a cool buzzword, right? There's a lot of people that's, oh, we have this great AI. Our AI doesn't predict the future. Okay. No one's does. What we essentially did was we took all of my knowledge and experience as a trader, and we've taken all the training and the education that we have at True Trading Group. And I have trained our AI to look for and find the setups that we love. So essentially our AI can just look at 13,000 different stocks and find the setups that we look for. And then it can rank those setups as in matter of probability and strength of setup to notify our members that, hey, OKLO has a setup that we like to look for. And it's got, an 82% probability, strength rating on the setup. And then members can go ahead with that information. They can go ahead and they can buy the stock or they can trade the setup. And OKLO was one of the stocks that was alerted today. And a lot of our members were able to benefit and make money from. So this is the stuff that's available to you guys, right? You just have to go to ttgoffer.com, become a member. Go to ttgoffer.com. Everything that you see on that page is included in your membership. Remember, there's no additional cost. There's no hidden fee. There's no upsell for anything that you guys see on ttgoffer.com. It's all included. And then you have the W money back guarantee, right? The W money back guarantee is there for peace of mind. I don't think that you need it, but it's right there on the checkout page in black and white. Go read it. Go through our courses, pass our quizzes, attend the study group. And if you're unable to make back the $597 membership fee at least one time, we'll give you back $1,194. It's as simple as that, right? It's as simple as that. If you guys have any questions at all, just send a text message to 1-888-621-2127. Again, that's 1-888-621-2127. All right. So folks, that wraps things up. That does it there. For me, I'm going to go and I'm going to watch the Yankee game tonight and hope that my Yankees could salvage this series and steal game 3 back over in New York. Right. So again, folks, like I said, ttgoffer.com. There are 8 of those spots left. Okay. They are first come, first serve. 8 spots left, or at midnight tonight, whichever happens first, $597, then the price jumps. Okay. So take advantage, ttgoffer.com. Otherwise, text us 1-888-621-2127. Thanks for tuning in tonight, folks. Hope you guys had a great trading day. We got a lot to look forward to this week. We have tons of earnings, all the big mega caps, a third of the S&P reports earnings this week. You have all the labor data that's coming out. We got inflation data on Thursday. This is going to be a huge week. Get your butts in chat. Take advantage of this.